even before we got the bikes, when he was younger, probably 5 and a half, 6 years old, and my parents have 12 grandchildren, and so they were all playing at the house, and it was Christmas, and he was sitting beside me on the couch, and he looked over at me and he said, "Mommy, I want to run." And that just broke my heart. And right then and there I realized that he does know that he's different, and he does know that he can't do some of the other things that the other kids do.
AMBUCS is an organization that gives trikes to folks. Funny thing is that these are tricycles because they're 3 wheels, but we talk about giving kids bikes, and to them it's a bike. It's not a trike. Then there's no negative connotation to being a 12-year-old having to ride a trike. You got your neat red bike, and boy, you are on your own.
I don't like seeing kids who can't participate in other things just because they have a physical disability. And small or severe disabilities, it doesn't matter. These trikes will benefit anyone.
Lots of times parents and therapists get caught up in you have to strengthen the child, they must work hard, have to do their exercises. It becomes a chore kind of thing. I think they forget that kids just want to have fun. Kids ride bikes. It's a rite of passage to have a bike. And so when these kids get on their bikes, they are doing what you want them to do, but they're having fun doing it.
My daughter is Mary Catherine Fletcher. She has always been very active, played lots of sports. She loved riding her bike. She loved roller skating, rollerblading, swimming, very outdoorsy, very friendly. And then when she was 14, we found out that she had a brain tumor. Fortunately, it was not cancerous, and we went in and she had surgery, and 2 weeks later she came home from the hospital, and she only had a little bit of residual problem with her right arm, which was a side effect of the brain tumor. 3 months after that, we found she had a unnamed autoimmune disease, which they are now naming after her. MK's disease is what they're calling it. And that landed her in the hospital for almost 2 months, almost 100% paralyzed. She only had the use of her left hand, just a few fingers on her left hand. And then once they started figuring out different medicines that would help her and get her stronger again, started doing intensive therapy to kind of bring back all of her muscles and the use of her body back. I mean, she couldn't sit up, she couldn't hold her head up, she couldn't swallow, she couldn't do anything.
As a dad or as a male, you know, we want to look for the ways that we solve the problem and we fix it. And there was nothing that I could do to fix Mary Catherine's illness.
She's got symptoms of 4 or 5 different diseases, and none of the medicine is working. In fact, everything's making her sicker.
The doctors didn't even know really what to do.
She finally came back, and one of her therapists through Children's Hospital suggested that we come to an AMBUCS fair, so to speak, and see if she could ride one of the tricycles that they had. And when we got to the fair, we found out that they built these bikes individual, customizing them to fit the child's needs or the adult's needs. And so for Mary Catherine, that meant a special seat with a bar that came up her back, with special padding that came around to secure her to it because she was not strong enough to hold herself up. It meant a special steering wheel that she could hold with her left hand with a customized brake where she could get to it. There were special pedals that we could strap onto her feet that she could push it and she could make it go because she had power in her left leg, not her right leg. And she was able to ride a bike. And now, mind you, at this point, she was still in a wheelchair. She couldn't even get up and walk yet. And she could ride the AMBUCS bike. So it was a lot of fun for her. It was great therapy that didn't feel like therapy. It was great independence for her. It was some of her normal life coming back again, which is what she needed after everything that she had experienced the 6 months prior to that.
it was just an amazing experience. I got my independence back, so instead of just going to the park and just watching everyone else play around and go on the swings and walk around the lake, I was actually on a bike riding it. And so I definitely think it gave me a lot of my joy back. I think that honestly, if I hadn't got the bike, I probably would have still been really, really timid and scared and shy and stuff. But now, since it's like, hey, I can do this, you're gonna be okay, you're not gonna fall, you're gonna be fine. So it really, even though like I don't ride a bike every day, all day, that experience has helped me with other experiences. So I think it's been amazing.
Her nickname now is she's our walking, talking miracle. She's doing great now. She's almost completely recovered. She's back in school. She's driving. She's got her life back, which is wonderful.
Being a part of this organization has opened doors for me to wonderful people and organizations who are very much committed to giving to others and making life better.